I'm no David Swallenbrick, but Daddy Preston would be impressed on.
Extremely simple piece of food.
For those playing along at home, this turbo probably looks huge. It's because it is.
This is where I've been living for the past 3 weeks and where I will be living the next 3 months.
This week's YouTube episode, we're back here at HD Automotive, continuing on my big, sandy, turdy box. It's turbo time, manifold's on, we're gonna try and plumb some GFB gate goodness, put this on. The inlet manifold doesn't fit, so we're probably gonna have to do something about that. Sort of just winging it, hoping for the best. Let's do some things. Oh, it's hot all the way in the run. Have you seen the dime bags? Daddy Preston would be impressed on. Very tasty. No leaky boys, great penetration. I'm well hung. This is exciting, this part of the build, because we get to put blingy, shiny stuff on the thing and get it closer to running. It's nice that at least one of the manifolds fits. And the turbo. Good, yeah. Grace mentioned that the bonnet might not shut. Is it?
No, it'll absolutely shut. I mean, the coil tower's higher, so that's it.
It's not.
Is it?
No. It's all gonna be. Everything's gonna be fine anyway.
We got a scoop anyway, so.
Yeah, true. Just keep cutting things out of the bonnet. It's wastegate time.
Yeah, wastegate.
So we've got G4900 turbo. Obviously, this will be having 25-30 pound boost. And we spoke to Coil at GFB, who sent us out all the appropriate stuff, blow off valve, fuel pressure reg, and external gate. Big 50mm dog.
Yeah, he's pretty confident.
Made in Australia. Very nice product. And now we just have to make it fit the 6 boost using these bits of shenanigans, if not directly onto the 6 boost.
Yeah, there's actually more space than I thought. It's good.
That's what happens when you delete everything Toyota and put in the car.
So, pretty straightforward when making a gate. Obviously one side's attached to the manifold, it's a V-band both sides, very easy to do. The other side of the gate, Sam has opted to run a screamer, which means it essentially just dumps the exhaust gas to the atmosphere. Because of that, we're just gonna put a pipe on the outlet of the gate, which comes straight down. Got a bit of a kink on it just to clear the chassis rail, even especially when the engine moves under load. That goes on there like that. Then we just need another small section of straight here, and we're gonna maybe do like a teardrop end on it just to make it look a bit prettier. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. That's what it looks like.
I've developed scoliosis from sleeping on Max's back. But the good news is...
Sleeping on Max's back?
Well, there's not much sleeping going when I'm on your back, but...
I broke my back. Spinal.
Sleeping on Max's couch, rather. But anyway, that's just another random fun fact. This is Max. And if there's one thing he knows how to do, it's handle 4 inches well. We're facing a crisis here at HG today, and that is some fucking idiot has put 3-link suspension and brackets and cross members where Toyota never had them, which has made Max's life extremely simple piece of food. If we just hammer it into that gap.
Well, this is still higher than this up there. The only thing is the tail shaft.
Yeah,
we could see,
front shaft.
because I would like to come this way.
But it's not going to happen, is it?
Too big.
Too big. Engine too much burr, exhaust not go grr, Max go no. What are our options, Max? We basically, here we have, obviously that screamer is going to get plumbed back in because legality. Exhaust is going to have to come down here. Option 1 is over the top.
Probably the only option.
Here, and probably the only option.
Through here.
Through that gap. An attempt at a muffler here potentially, or up over the chassis. The chassis. If I smack my head on one more thing under here.
What I'm actually thinking is if we come through here and we can put your valve here, we can have valved, it's just 4-inch like here, noise, and then like valve open, and then valve shut, it can be sent over the chassis rail, over here, muffler, maybe 3.5-3-inch, biggest muffler we can, back over this side, and like
just dump
over
it
here, quiet.
Alright, sorry to interrupt the episode that you are no doubt enjoying right now, but if you stick around towards the end of the video, you're going to find out how you can win over $300,000 worth of prizes and help change the lives of those Aussies living with cancer. But for now, back to the video. Woo! FGA killer. Why? You fucking hate FGA shit.
I don't think it'll work.
What do you mean? Let it.
It doesn't reach the plug.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
We thought we were going to be able to use these. Just an R35 coil for mega spark and ignition, but because of the length of the head, it's not going to work. Because obviously this has got to go down, boom, seal on the top, spark plug's got to reach there. Not long enough.
So, originally, this car 80 series would have had a single coil pack driving distributor. Yep. This car sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't go through water. Spark breaks down at
Yeah.
length.
It was like that boost dump or whoever it was. The guy we watched on YouTube, boost dumps or whoever,
Oh yeah, yeah.
trying to do it, and the dizzy and stuff was the limiting factor at like 300 horsepower. So,
Yeah. Dizzy's definitely not the way to go. Slightly better with the 105 engines. They actually have individual coil packs, 3 coil packs driving 2 cylinders each, mounted on the side of the head here. A little bit better, but still not very powerful. Like, limited, especially your horsepower level. The spark's just not strong enough. It blows it out. And also it looks kind of gross. Like you've got external coil packs and a lead for every single cylinder.
Yeah, messy.
It's messy. You've got 6 leads going to the rear engine.
Yeah.
It's just not very sexy.
amen.
So,
Coil
with
on
this,
plug.
yeah, exactly. We get the coil driving every single plug, so heaps stronger spark. It also looks a lot tidier.
Yep. And these kits you've drawn up, designed, and are available through the website.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
They're pretty
anyone
popular item that we sell through
can
HD.
jump on the HD website and get these FZ coil and plug adapter plates. And yeah, you can also go and make 4,000 horsepower FZ go burst soon.
FT Killer
MCUs.
Welcome to my crib. This is where I've been living for the past 3 weeks and where I will be living the next 3 months. I was told it was an engine in, wire in, Haltech, and now it's an engine in, fuel system in, brake lines, Haltech, guards, everything. It never ends. See if I make it through the night. Ugh. But that looks good now. AC bracket, because Sam must have air conditioning in his race truck. Very privileged. If he didn't want aircon, life would have been a whole lot easier, but here we are. Gotta make the big man happy. This is the worst design, Toyota.
Thumb looks pretty sore, eh?
Yeah.
What happened?
They bite.
Look around and find out.
Yeah.
Also, someone on Instagram suggested instead of FTA Killer, it should be Gearbox Destroyer. Progress check. PWR in. Platinum Racing Products filler boy in. The HD Auto coil on plug adapter plate in. We've got the Bosch coil packs. So we're going to use the R35 ones from Automotive Superstore, but they're just not going to work on this adapter plate, so that's all good. Rear housing's in. The start of a dump pipe, wastegate, the power bond balancer.
I think Max is just getting the lower water neck and the lower radiator hose and stuff ready to go. Things that are on their way to us are the intake manifold kit. We're making our own now, which Max is pumped on. We've also got the Racecraft 4-inch. I know it's to laugh because of my abs. 4-inch Racecraft Y-piece valve exhaust, which is on its way from Perth, but we should see that by Wednesday or Thursday. Looking good. But yeah, we're gonna start, I think, banging some Haltech sensors in the engine today. Sip on heaps of coffee. Hayden's risen us with this walk. Look at those. What do we do? For those playing along at home, this turbo probably looks huge. Because it is.
Well, we're hooking up the water lines to keep this big girl cold. We're trying to route them in a way that makes them look a bit sexier than factory.
Nice.
And what we've gone and done is we've actually tapped AN fittings into the factory water feeds on this motor, so we don't have to run soft line. We can just run stainless fittings and braid,
Nice.
which will help it last in those tough FNQ conditions, as well as look a lot sexier than black rubber.
So when we ship this over to Dubai, do 300 km/h tip-ins on the highway,
Yeah.
and it's 50 degrees, we'll be good. Hot shit. This is the pipe that will take spoolied air through the intervals. Will be pressurized at a substantial amount.
Technical term.
In technical terms. So Max needs to make it strong and good.
Put that back on the clamp. And then put this on your back seat.
Excuse you?
Good cover photo.
We're going to cut the little snozzy off that, the little cock off him, basically give it the gender transformation, because it's obviously made, it's got a little bead on there, just designed for, you know, silicone joiner type thing. Then instead of just welding a 90 straight to the turbo, because we're going to be clever boys, we're still going to use a little situation like that, and then that's going to get welded straight to the front housing of the turbo, so it's removable, sealed, no silicone or anything like that. It'll be a bit like that, and then it's going to kick it towards the front of the car, turbo us towards the radiator support here, therefore intercooler and all that sort of shenanigans. So that's the plan. It's a nicer way of doing it. It obviously takes a lot more time and effort, but I think in the long term it's going to be worth it, and everything we're using is Raceworks, so that's exciting too. Now, we chop up the turbo.
So this is what we're using for the turbo oil drain. These things put off a lot of heat, so if you can get some sort of metal oil drain opposed to like a rubber or braided line, it's probably gonna last a lot longer, just because the rubber ones or braided ones tend to melt. And this should be really strong to run past the manifold. Like that. Pretty cool, eh?
What's going on, you bloody legend? Whoa! Come here. He's trying to hide the sensor. What do you got here, Matt?
Well, guys, what we have here is a 1/8 BSBT to 2/1/8 BSBT adapter, so we can run oil feed for the turbo, and this is a Haltech sensor which allows us to read both oil pressure and temperature
Nice.
of the one sensor.
Hot.
That will go into the factory oil pressure sender port on the oil cooler on the side of the block, and will allow us to run everything we need.
Nice, eh? I don't know what part of the video we're up to or what I've actually said yet, but if you didn't already know, this car's getting a Haltech. So we're going Halley 2500 Elite, so complete standalone, which means we can control and have things like nitrous, flex fuel, multiple different, like up to 12 different maps, fuel level. You can run your indicators through the IC7 dash that it'll be getting, digital dash, but most importantly for a car like this, and one of the big things that it's attractive about a conversion like this is you can modernize it. So being able to have a whole bunch of NOx sensors, oil pressure, oil temp, water temp, all those sorts of sensors mean you can really bulletproof and fail safe a car like this, so that if it ever plays up, you know exactly what's going on. JJ loves being in video. So behind me is the 80 series. This is another piece of the ever expensive puzzle. That guy right there is a genuine Bosch from Haltech NOx sensor. So another great thing about having a modernized engine with the Haltech is that we're fitting 2 of these sensors to the sort of front and back of the motor, and these are literally just a sensor that you mount to the block, and it can sense the pinging that would be an engine knock, and it's going to basically, you know, pull whatever it needs to stop the knocking or shut down the car, or at least give you an alert on the IC7 dash. So it uses an 8mm mounting bolt, and being a genuine Bosch sensor, you know it's going to be super reliable and super effective. So happy days. Take my nut.
Well, you guys asked for it bigger and better than ever, and that is exactly what the MARTA Cars for Cancer Lottery team have given us. Welcome to the wildlife or the high life experience, valued at $330,000. Wondering what I'm talking about? Follow me inside, I'll explain. So what makes up that insane $330,000 prize you get if you choose the wildlife package? Well, the first part of it I'm sitting in. This is a brand spanking new Coil Thrill Seeker 21-foot caravan, and is a little absolute bliss oasis on wheels. Let me run you through just some of the features. For starters, out the front, massive awning, huge amount of sitting space, get you out of the elements if it's raining or it's sunny and that sort of thing. Perfect for those quick roadside lunch stops. You come inside, you're greeted with a massive kitchen, full fridge, oven, range hood, stovetop, microwave, sink, beds up the back, ensuite there. You can sleep here, you can sleep there. There's more storage than I know what to do with. There's even LED lighting all through the entire thing, plus an air conditioner on the roof for those hot, sticky summer nights. But you're probably asking, what the heck am I going to tow this thing with? Well, am I glad you asked. Let's go check it out. This is going to be going home with you if you choose the wildlife package. This is a brand new Toyota 300 series Land Cruiser GXL, and trust me when I say this thing packs a powerful punch. V6 twin turbo diesel motor, 10-speed automatic, and more than capable of pulling that caravan fully loaded. And if you're still not sold, how about we chuck in over $113,000 in cashable gold bullion? Pretty damn exciting, if I do say so myself. The best part is, it's just $30 to get in the draw. Pretty exciting. But hey, I hear you. What if you're not as adventure inclined as I am? Perhaps you prefer the finer things in life. Well, we've got a prize for you guys too. Wait right there. Hey, and if four-wheel drive is not quite your jam, I've got another option for you. Follow me over here. So you've won the MARTA Cars for Cancer Lottery and you want to choose a little bit of luxury in your life. Well, have we got the prize for you? This bad boy right here is a brand new BMW iX luxury SUV. The X-Drive 40 model to be precise, worth over $140,000. It's got over 320 horsepower, fully electric, all-wheel drive, and fast charges in just half an hour. Pretty insane. On top of this luxury SUV, we're also going to give you and one other lucky person a luxury trip around Australia, all accommodation, flights and hire car paid for to all your favourite major cities. Plus, if you're still on the fence, I doubt it, but if you are, we're going to give you over $150,000 in cashable gold bullion. Trust me, $30 entry, this is absolutely unheard of. So for just a $30 entry into the MARTA Cars for Cancer Lottery, the only hard decision you have to make is whether you're going to be picking the wildlife or the high life. It's important to remember, even though we've had some fun today, that MARTA really is making a difference to those that need it. It's all about helping the families and the patients that are suffering with cancer to improve their care, their treatment and their lives. MARTA really is making a difference with every entry sold. Tens of thousands of Australians are suffering every single year. My dad was one of them, so this really strikes a chord at home. And guys, if you want to be in with the chance to win any of these insane prizes, $330,000 to be exact, you need to get your entry in at martalotteries.com.au.
So today we have to tackle the exhaust side of things. Should be a bit of fun. That's what we've got so far. 4-inch dump. Next we're gonna have to put this thing down here as tight to the firewall as possible, just so it clears the edge of the tire here, and through this little gap on the side step to body here. We've got a few goodies to put in as well. Racecraft 4-inch flap, So as you can see, motor on the side, electronically controlled. One way makes it loud, one way makes it quiet. You have to squeeze that in somewhere, and then just a bunch of bands like Flexies, 45s, V-bands. We got boxes and boxes of parts. Make an exhaust out of it. Should be good. What do you reckon, Levi?
I fucking agree. Totally, wholeheartedly. And I know exactly what you're talking about.
All three of us today are working on this exhaust system. We got JJ on the TIG, Levi working out where everything's gonna go, and I'm just gonna be vlogging the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I'm thinking, we need to go through here. This is just a 90 off the back of the turbo. We're gonna come through here. It's gonna be braced back to the bell housing using this factory bolt hole here to the exhaust, and then after that bracing, we're gonna have to do a flexi. We've got one of these stainless performance bellows to go in. So what we'll probably do is, that'll be like that. I'll go through there. This will come like this, tucking it close to the firewall as we can. Sam's gonna have some pretty hot feet. And then once that's on, we just need to work out how to plumb these together. Usually I would work from the turbo backwards, but this has to go here. So I'm gonna start with this and then go from there. Okay. Welding stainless is all about gas flow and fancy TIG bits. So I'll show you. This is like a pencil style torch. Very easy to hold. I typically hold it up here, very close to the end. It's got a flexible head on it. This cup, I was welding alloy with it. It's got a little ball on the tip of the tungsten opposed to a point, and just a smaller cup for less gas flow. And if you're welding stainless, put this big girl on, Fupa. Just a really, really big gas lens, so you get a heap of coverage, gives you those really nice kind of rainbow welds. Pretty cool, eh? So we'll swap that out. You can see the size difference there. Put this gas flow, the big cup, probably like 20-25. And then we've got a foot pedal. Turn on and off. This is what the TIG setup looks like, the stainless. Massive cup, very sharp tungsten, lots of gas flow. Just lay your beads. Pretty cool.
Alright, so exhaust time. Max has been smashing over the past few days while we've been around doing other stuff. He's managed to get the screamers obviously done. You've seen that. He's got the 4-inch dump pipe flex in there. Comes through to here, which is that racecraft wire valve. On the far right hand side, it's obviously 4-inch V-band and then dumps right here. 0 restriction, so that's going to be full power send mode and everything. If you hit the valve, it's going to send it through this system, which we've reduced down using a cone from 4 to 3 inch. We're bringing it up over the chassis rail and over the tail shaft. And then we've got this guy right here, which is a center to offset muffler. It's about 14 inches, 8 inches wide, 5 inches deep. And hopefully is going to take some noise out of it for when we're driving on the highway and that sort of thing. What we're thinking is going to happen is it'll probably tuck up in this spot nicely here. This is like a really high quality, all TIG stainless steel muffler, so it's going to take a lot of the noise out. We're going to bring 3 inches out of the muffler over back on the top of the chassis rail, and then probably put a 4-inch tip on it here, so that if you're looking under the car, it matches the 4-inch tip on that side, but it should be a whole lot quieter. Definitely from a driver's side perspective, me sitting in there, it should be a whole lot quieter having the muffler and having it out on the passenger side. So that's the plan. Woo-hoo!
This is a bullet head that separates halfway through its trajectory. See that? Probably. Maybe I should not have done that.
Nah, it's not ours.
Gotta get my fingerprints off it.
Oh,
the Geneva Convention wants to access your microphone.
I'm no David Swalbrick, but I'm connected to the world.
Oh! I got excited. Right, help me here, JJ. Run us through it.
Oh, we've got a big shiny muff for starters. And these belong in the bin.
Well, Max has just wrapped up a huge week on the 80 series, and I say week because you guys probably think, oh, you know, welding up a bit of an exhaust can't be too hard, but when you have to navigate the disastrous clusterfuck that we have, it takes time to do all the things correctly and nicely. If we come up the front, up in that gap there, you'll see a 4-inch dump pipe. Max has welded this all out of stainless. He's tigged it, it looks phenomenal. Raceworks sent us out their titanium turbo beanie, which we fitted, and also some titanium heat wrap for the dump pipe, because obviously it hugs the firewall really closely and it's going to be getting rather warm. Above my head just here is that Racecraft Y pipe, which is really exciting. So obviously it's 4-inch all the way down the driver's side and then dumping right there at the 4-inch tip. But for road tripping and that kind of thing, like you would have seen throughout the episode, what Max has managed to do is step it down in size here and tuck it over the chassis, over the top of the tail shaft. We've managed to fit big shiny muffler in it, and then over out on this side of the car, it dumps in a little 3-inch tip just there. So that should hopefully take some of the rowdiness out of it. Not much, but a little bit. The screamer's done, external wastegate is all there. It's all looking absolutely phenomenal. Max has gone to town on exhaust mounts and hangers and stuff, so this is a really strong, really sort of secure feeling system. I think it's going to be really good. Obviously we don't have much margin for error in terms of where things are running and routed, so big kudos to Max. He's done phenomenal work, and as always, massive thanks to HD Automotive and Raceworks for hooking it up. Next week, we continue the build. Until then.